Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture on heat exchangers and building energy consumption. My name is Vandana Chandrakar and I am thrilled to guide you through this exploration of energy efficient buildings. In previous lecture, we have discussed about the importance of energy efficient buildings, in which we have covered overview of energy consumptions in building, basic principle of energy conservation and historical overview of energy efficient buildings. In this lecture on heat exchangers and building energy consumption, we will cover various aspects heat exchangers in buildings, benefit of heat exchangers in buildings, type of heat exchangers and factors affecting heat exchangers efficiency. We will also discuss the factor influencing building energy consumptions and analyzing building energy use performance. Then we will discuss data collection and analysis tools. Finally, we will discuss psychometric chart for understanding of air moisture relationships. First, we will explore the concept of heat exchangers and their role in reducing energy consumption in buildings. We will discuss how heat exchangers work, their benefits and how they contribute to a more sustainable built environment. So, now let us see what is a heat exchanger. Think of a heat exchanger as a breeze that allows thermal energy to flow from one fluid to another. The fluids themselves do not come into direct contact, but their heat contact is exchanged through a barrier like fins or tubes heat. Exchangers are essential component in many systems, and understanding how they work is crucial for maximizing energy efficiency. Now that what are the heat exchangers in building? In buildings, heat exchangers are like resourceful recyclers of thermal energy. They capture heat that would otherwise be expelled to the outside and put it to good use. This preheating process significantly reduces the energy needed to achieve comfortable indoor temperatures, especially during colder months. In this slide, we will delve into the exciting world of heat exchangers and their remarkable role in building efficiency. Imagine this air handling unit as the heat of a building's HVAC system. It is responsible for maintaining comfortable indoor temperatures, but what if we could make it more efficient and cost effective? That is where heat exchangers come in. Heat exchangers are like resourceful recycler within the HVAC system. They capture thermal energy, often referred to as waste heat from exhaust air that would normally be expelled. Think about it this way: during colder months, the incoming fresh air needs to be heated significantly to reach a comfortable temperature. By preheating this air with the captured waste heat, the heating system does not have to work as hard. This translates to significant energy savings, which translate to lower utility bills for building owners and managers. It is a win-win situation for both comfort and cost savings. Now, we will cover the benefits of heat exchangers in buildings. The benefit of heat exchangers in buildings are undeniable. By capturing waste heat and using it for preheating, this device lead to substantial energy consumption reductions. This translates to lower utility bills for building owners and a more sustainable approach to buildings. Additionally, some regions offer incentives like tax credits or rebates to encourage the adoption of energy efficient technologies like heat exchangers. Now that we understand the significant role heat exchangers play building energy efficiency, let us explore the two main types commonly used in HVAC systems. First is air to air heat exchangers. These workhorses capture heat from exhaust air, which is typically warmer than in the incoming fresh air, and transfer it to the incoming air stream. This preheats the incoming air, reducing the heating load on the system, especially during winter. Air to air heating exchangers are a popular choice for ventilation systems. Second is water to water heat exchangers. As the name suggests, these exchangers transfer heat between hot and cold water streams. For example, they can recover heat from wastewater leaving showers or sinks, and preheat incoming cold water supply for showers or laundry. This reduces the energy needed to heat the incoming cold water to desired temperature. This slide highlights the key factors that influence how effectively a heat exchanger performs its job. There are three factors that affect the heat exchanger's efficiency are design, material and temperature difference. First we will see design. The design of the heat exchangers plays a crucial role. Counter flow design, where the hot and cold fluids flow in opposite directions, are generally more efficient than parallel flow designs. Plate type heat exchangers with their large surface area for heat transfer often outperform cell and tube designs in terms of efficiency and size. Second is material. The material used in the heat exchangers and also matters. Copper offers excellent heat conductivity, allowing for more efficient heat transfer. However, aluminum is a lighter and more cost effective options, though with slightly lower conductivity. Choosing the right material depends on factors like budget, applications and desired efficiency level. Third is temperature difference. As expected, the greater the temperature difference between the hot and cold fluids, the more heat the exchangers can transfer. However, there is a caveat: an excessively large temperature difference might not be ideal for the building's needs. For example, if the incoming fresh air is preheated too much in winter, it might require additional cooling to reach a comfortable temperature, negating some of the energy savings. The goal is to achieve a good balance between maximizing heat transfer and meeting the specific heating or cooling requirements of the building. We have covered the key design and material considerations for heat exchangers, but there are other additional factors that can influence how effectively they perform in real world building applications. They are maintenance. Like any mechanical device, regular maintenance is crucial for optimal performance. Heat exchangers can become clogged with dust, dirt or debris over time. This reduces airflow and hinders heat transfer efficiency. Scheduled cleaning and inspections are essential to ensure the heat exchanger operates at peak capacity. Imagine these clogged heat exchangers. See how the dirt built up restricts airflow and reduces the surface area available for heat transfer. Regular cleaning helps prevent this scenario and maintenance optimal efficiency. Second is airflow rates. For air to air heat exchangers, proper airflow rates are critical. If the airflow is too low, the heat exchangers will not have enough contact time with the air streams to transfer heat effectively. Conversely, excessively high airflow rates can also reduce efficiency. A well designed HVAC system will ensure optimal airflow for the specific heat exchangers being used. Then we will discuss fouling. Fouling refers to the buildup of unwanted materials on the heat exchanger surfaces. This can be caused by mineral deposits in water or chemical contaminants in air streams. Fouling acts like an insulator, hindering heat transfer. Proper material selection for the heat exchanger and the fluid it handles can help mitigate fouling issues. By considering these additional factors alongside design and material sections, building designers and operators can ensure heat exchangers deliver on their promise of significant energy savings and a more sustainable built environment. So, heat exchangers are a game changer for building energy efficiency. They capture waste heat, readily available resources and put it to good use, reducing the energy demands of HVAC systems. This translates to significant cost savings for building owners and operators. Furthermore, heat exchangers promote a more sustainable built environment by minimizing overall energy consumption with potential financial incentives available. Some reasons heat exchangers offer a cost effective solution for building a more sustainable future. In these slides, we will embark on a journey to understand the factors that influence building energy consumption. Buildings are significant contributors to global energy use. By delving into these factors, we can gain valuable insights into how buildings consume energy and identify potential areas for improvement. This knowledge empowers us to design, operate and maintain buildings that are more efficient, sustainable and cost effective. Ultimately, our goal is to create comfortable and healthy space while minimizing our environmental impact. The factors are: first, building envelope, and second, HVAC system. First, we will see building envelope. The building envelope acts like a protective shell for a building. It plays a critical role in energy consumption. Here is why: thermal insulation. Imagine a building with poor insulation. Heat from the scorching sun in summer would easily penetrate indoors, requiring the air conditioning system to work overtime. Similarly, heat loss through poorly insulated walls and roofs during cold winters would force the heating system to work harder. Proper insulation acts like a thermal barrier, keeping the desired temperature inside the building with minimal heat transfer, reducing energy demands for both heating and cooling. Then, air tightness. A leaky building envelope is like having holes in a bucket of water. Just as the water would continuously leak out, conditioned air can escape through cracks and gaps in a leaky building's envelope. This uncontrolled air infiltration and exfiltration forces the HVAC system to work harder to maintain comfortable indoor temperatures, leading to increased energy consumption. A well sealed building envelope minimizes these leaks, resulting in significant energy savings. Fenestration. Windows and doors are essential for natural light and ventilation. However, they can also be significant sources of heat gain or loss depending on the climate. In hot climates, large windows facing south can contribute to excessive heat gain. Conversely, in cold climates, windows can be a major source of heat loss. Choosing the right type of windows with proper glazing and considering window placement can significantly improve a building's energy efficiency. HVAC systems are the workhorses of the thermal comfort in buildings, but they can also be significant energy consumers. Here is how to optimize them for efficiency. First, system efficiency. When choosing HVAC equipment, prioritize high efficiency ratings. Look for systems with high SEER, seasonal energy efficiency ratio. For cooling, and high HSPF, heating seasonal performance factor. For heating, this rating indicates how much energy the system can deliver per unit of electricity consumed. A higher rating signifies better efficiency. Maintenance. Just like a car needs regular tune-ups, HVAC system require regular maintenance to function optimally. Dirty air filters restricts airflow, clogged coils reduce heat transfer efficiency, and malfunctioning equipment can lead to wasted energy. Regular maintenance ensure your HVAC system runs smoothly and efficiently. System design and controls. A well designed HVAC system considers the building's specific needs, including size, layout, occupancy patterns and climate. Advanced control system can further optimize equipment operation by adjusting temperature settings based occupancy and external conditions. In conclusion, building energy consumption is influenced by a combination of factors related to the building envelope and the HVAC systems. By understanding these factors, we can make informed decisions throughout a building's life cycle, from design and construction to operation and maintenance, focusing on a well insulated airtight building envelope with strategic window placements and high performance glazing significantly reduces unwanted heat transfer. Choosing energy efficient HVAC systems, prioritizing regular maintenance and implementing advanced control systems further optimize building performance. By taking these steps, we can create a further future where buildings are not only comfortable and healthy for occupants, but also environmentally responsible and contribute to a more sustainable built environment. In this slide, we will discuss the building energy use performance analysis. We will explore the importance of analyzing energy use, the key metrics involved, and how this analysis can lead to significant improvements in buildings efficiency and sustainability. By understanding how buildings consume energy, we can identify areas for optimization and create a path towards a more sustainable built environment. Let us discuss why analyze building energy use. Analyzing building energy use performance offer a multitude of benefits. The primary driver is often cost reduction. By identifying areas where buildings consume excessive energy, we can implement targeted strategies to achieve significant savings on utility bills. Building performance analysis goes beyond just cost savings. It allows us to understand how a building is functioning as a whole. These data can reveal inefficiencies in systems, potential maintenance issues, and opportunities for upgrades that can lead to improved building performance. Ultimately, a building that uses energy efficiency creates a more comfortable and healthy environment for occupants. Additionally, energy use analysis plays a crucial role in achieving sustainability goals. By minimizing energy consumption, we reduce a building's environmental impact and contribute to a more sustainable future. Finally, building energy use reporting and efficiency standards are becoming increasingly common in some regions. Performing regular analysis helps ensure compliance with these regulations. To effectively analyze building energy performance, we need to focus on key metrics. The most fundamental metric is energy consumption, typically measured in kilowatt hours. This tells us the total amount of energy used by the building over a specific period. However, to compare buildings of different sizes fairly, we use energy intensity. This metric normalizes energy consumption by the building's floor area, giving us kilowatt per hour per square meter. Another crucial metric is demand, which refers to the maximum rate of electricity use at a specific point in time. Understanding peak demand helps in optimizing electrical infrastructure capacity. The power factor indicates how efficiently the building utilizes electricity. A higher power factor signifies better efficiency. Finally, it is important to analyze the breakdown of energy used for heating and cooling, as these are often the most significant energy consumers in a building. Data collection is the backbone of building energy use performance analysis. Several tools and technologies play a crucial role in these processes. Building automation systems are like the nervous system of a building, constantly monitoring and controlling various systems like HVAC lighting. In this slide, we have explored the word of building energy use performance analysis. We discussed the importance of analyzing energy use, the key metrics involved, and how this analysis can lead to significant improvements in building energy efficiency and sustainability. By understanding how buildings consume energy, we can identify areas for optimization and create a path towards a more sustainable built environment. Let us now discuss psychometric chart for understanding of air moisture relationship. A valuable tool used in air conditioning, ventilation and other applications. The psychometric chart help us understand the complex relationship between air temperature, moisture content and various other properties. By understanding how to use this chart, we can make informed decisions about air conditioning system, building comfort and various industrial processes that involve air moisture interaction. Let us now we will first see what is the psychometric chart. The psychometric chart is like a map that helps us navigate the world of moist air. It visually represents the relationship between various properties of air that contains moisture. The key player on this map are dry bulb temperature. This is the familiar air temperature we measure with a thermometer. Wet bulb temperature, imagine dipping thermometer in water and then wheeling it in the air. As the water evaporates, it cools the thermometer slightly. The wet bulb temperature is the temperature measured by this thermometer. Second, relative humidity. This tells us how much moisture the air actually holds compared to the maximum amount it can hold at a specific temperature. Think of it as a percentage gauge for air's moisture content. Then dew point temperature. This is the temperature at which the air becomes saturated with moisture and condensation forms. Imagine a cold glass filled with iced water on a hot humid day. Water droplets form the outside of the glass because the air temperature has reached the dew point of the surrounding moisture air. The psychometric chart is not just random collection of points. Several key lines help us interpret the information. Dry bulb temperature. These vertical lines represents different air temperatures. Moving up a line signifies increasing temperature. Wet bulb temperature line. This diagonal line represent different wet bulb temperatures. They typically slant from upper left to lower right. Constant relative humidity lines. These lines, often curved, connect points with the same relative humidity. Following a curve towards the left side of the chart indicates increasing relative humidity. Then saturation line. This important line separates the unsaturated and saturated regions of the chart. The air is considered saturated at the dew point, which falls on this line. To the right of the saturation line, condensation occurs. Using the psychometric chart, the power of the psychometric chart lies in its ability to find unknown properties when we know two others. Here is the basic processes. First, identify two known properties. For example, you might know the dry bulb temperature and the wet bulb temperature of the air. Second, locate the intersection point. Find the point on the chart where the dry bulb temperature line and wet bulb temperature line meet. Third, read other properties. Once you have the intersection point, you can use the charts, scales and labels to determine other in psychometric chart. In conclusion, the psychometric chart is a valuable tool for anyone working with air conditioning, ventilation or processes involving air and moisture. By understanding the relationships between dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature, relative humidity, dew point and other properties, we can make informed decisions. The chart allows us to design and optimize air conditioning systems to achieve desired comfort levels and prevent moisture problems. Evaluate the effectiveness of ventilation strategies in maintaining good indoor air quality, control air moisture content in industrial process to ensure product quality and efficient operation. The psychometric chart may seem complex at first, but with practice it becomes a powerful resource for understanding and manipulating air moisture relationships. In various applications, I encourage you to explore this chart further and leverage its capability in your field. So, in this lecture we discussed introduction to heat exchanger, heat exchangers in buildings, benefit of heat exchangers in buildings, types of heat exchangers in buildings, factor affecting heat exchanger efficiency, factor influencing building energy consumption, building envelope HVAC system, analyzing building energy use performance, data collection and analysis tools, psychometric chart. Key points covered in this lecture: heat exchangers in buildings. Heat exchangers transfer thermal energy between fluids without direct contact. They capture and reuse waste heat, significantly reducing the energy needed for heating and cooling. Benefits of heat exchangers: substantial energy consumption reductions leading to lower utility bills and a more sustainable building operation. Potential incentives such as tax credit or rebates for adopting energy efficient technologies. Types of heat exchangers: air to air heat exchangers transfer heat from exhaust air to incoming fresh air, reducing heat loads. Water to water heat exchangers transfer heat between hot and cold water streams, improving efficiency in water heating applications. Factor affecting heat exchangers efficiency: design, counterflow designs and plate type heat exchangers enhance efficiency. Material: copper offers high conductivity while aluminum is cost effective and lighter. Temperature difference: optimal temperature differences maximize heat transfer without excessive cooling or heating needs. Additional efficiency factors: maintenance, regular cleaning and inspection prevent efficiency loss due to clogs and fouling. Airflow rates: proper airflow ensure effective heat transfer. Foulings: selecting appropriate materials and fluids minimize fouling, maintaining efficiency. Factors influencing building energy consumption: building envelope, insulation, air tightness and fenestration significantly impact energy demands for heating and cooling HVAC systems. High efficiency ratings, regular maintenance and advanced control systems optimize performance. Analyzing building energy use performance. Key matrices include energy consumptions, energy intensity, demand, power factor and the breakdown of heating and cooling energy use. Building automation systems play a crucial role in monitoring and controlling energy use. Psychometric chart, a valuable tool for understanding air temperature, moisture content and other properties, helps in designing and optimizing HVAC systems, evaluating ventilation strategies and controlling air moisture content in industrial processes. In the upcoming lecture, we will discuss energy performance matrices and indicators, energy performance indicators, types on energy performance indicators, benchmarking, industrial energy performance, introduction to ISO 50001, energy performance indices for buildings and benefits, challenges and practical applications of ENPLS. Thank you and wish you a very happy learning. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to your questions and discussions on this fascinating topic.